So the process for us to find the most qualified property management company, we did some research on the market participants. So we went on a Google search. We found 2 or 3 European managed property management companies, and we had an initial call with each one of them. And we reached the House & House marketing department, which referred us to property management agent Chloe. After that, I had a couple of Zoom sessions with Chloe where she explained the property management process, what services they can offer. They gave us an attractive deal, and then I had another one-on-one meeting with her. From there, we signed the contract and we started the process. Honestly, yes. When we were doing our market research, we had spoken, as I mentioned earlier, to 3 property management companies. Our focus was on finding a European managed or a British managed property management company that had standards and procedures and protocol. And we found out that House & House was the most qualified, the most friendly, the most personalized service, and that's why we chose them. Chloe is a very unique individual. She is very simple, very humble, extremely friendly. What I like about her is that she is very active. She's always available, whether by phone call or by WhatsApp. She does not restrict herself to the 9 to 5 working hours. Sometimes I get messages from her at 8 p.m. Sometimes I get messages from her early morning. She is very engaged in her work, which I like personally. One other great point about Chloe is that she is very tenant friendly. She is very compassionate with the tenants. She's always trying to protect their rights and at the same time meet the landlord aspirations, but always be tenant friendly. And as we know in property, a happy tenant is a long-term tenant. So I noticed that she's always trying to help the tenants become comfortable in their new property, which we're okay with. I mean, it just means we go out of our way to make them happy, but we hope to retain them for the long term. Yes, whenever I had any queries, I would just, as simple as sending Chloe a WhatsApp message, and within a very short period, she would come back to me with an explanation, clarification. Has this check cleared? Has that maintenance issue been resolved? How did that viewing go? Because House & House manages the viewing process, the listing process. So I get an update on every viewing if I wish. How did that viewing go? What was the problem? Was there a price problem? Did the tenant want something else? So I get updated as much information as I'm interested in. I get that information. Perfect. So I'm just going to go back in memory. So that villa was the Golf Links villa, which is a very, very far away community. It's like the farthest community you could reach to in Dubai. And I had set a meeting with Chloe and her colleague, Ms. Shauna. So they were there before I arrived, considering it's a far away location. I had the key with me, so we opened the villa. The MR representative was there because it was a new handover from MR Properties. We went through each of the rooms, each of the kitchen, the living room, and I was actually astonished with the attention to detail. Like Chloe and Shauna, being professional property managers, they were able to spot very minute scratches and details, broken tiles, and they had an extensive list of comments on the handover process, which they communicated to MR, and MR Properties actually fixed the problems, and then they went again and took handover of the villa and signed off that the property is in perfect condition, ready for a tenant. I handed over the keys to them. I handed over the warranty documents, the MR documents, and that was the last time I've heard anything from this villa. After that, we went on to the listing process and arranging viewings and finding a tenant in that community. Yes, always available. Chloe, as my personalized, dedicated property manager, never failed me. Whenever I had any query, all I do was just like send her a WhatsApp message, and within a relatively short period, she would get back to me with a clarification, whether that be financial issues relating to the tenant, whether that be a security deposit. She has also assisted me in arranging like purchasing some special requests for the tenant, like a new washing machine, doing like small maintenance for the apartment. So she would help me get a nice quote from a good maintenance company that House & House deals with, arranging the payment, arranging just like the whole process. So for me, it feels very seamless, very comfortable, and I would be happy to pay the fees to House & House because it just removes the headache and makes me more comfortable for me. Yes, so far House & House has exceeded my expectations. I'm a very picky person by nature. My expectations are always high from the people that I do business with. House & House has exceeded my already high expectations, whether it be the onboarding process, the handover process, finding a tenant, dealing with other agents, you know, the maintenance required on the property, some disputes, handling some small disputes with tenants. They've all managed it very well in a way which kept me comfortable and never, you know, irritated me in any way. Yes, I think there's always room for improvement. Even though House & House has a good process, they have a good systems, good procedures. They have obviously have the right people on board. Where I see room for improvement is in training the new property managers on the new enclaves, the new districts coming up in Dubai. As you know, Dubai is a huge, sprawling city, and there's new areas coming up in Dubai South, Al Barari, Dubai Land, District 1. It would be great if the property manager is engulfed in the details of the property, trying to enter the community groups so they know the intricacies of, you know, the demand and supply, the maintenance issues, the landlord issues, the community issues. It just makes them better property managers because they know the inside story on the community. It just makes them better agents. They will be able to find tenants faster. They'll be able to find more motivated tenants. They'll be able to get more business in those communities. So I think that's an area of improvement. Yes, very much so. No hesitation. If I continue to get the same level of service and dedication that I have seen in the last year, personally we will be renewing our contracts with House & House, and I'll be more than happy to give any testimonials to any prospective clients who wish to engage the services of House & House Real Estate. Yes, sure. I mean, having someone's property managed is basically a relationship of trust, and it's a long-term relationship. And once you trust someone with your properties, which is your investment, usually you would trust them for, you know, I want to sell a property or I want to buy a property. Sometimes I call my agent with House & House and what do you think of this new community? We're thinking of making an investment. Can you help us? Can you assist us? Can you find a tenant for one of my friends? Can you So we definitely we look at our relationship with House & House as a comprehensive relationship, not only a property management. Could be like for purchasing, selling, rentals, valuation services. So anything that falls under the umbrella of property, we would definitely engage House & House.